runs to make. But I'm going to give y'all that extra half an hour. I mean, because you deserve it. I was supposed to start at 11, and I end up starting it at 11:30. I'm going to have to get my glasses so I can see. Pardon me. Honey, have you seen my glasses? Oh no, I got them in my pocket right here. That's right. Look, when you get old, you forget things. I had them in my pocket. It's just like, oh, where's my teeth? Grandma, they in your mouth. Oh, okay. Anyway, welcome to my live stream. Today's subject, oh, hi all to the chat. Where's my manners? My apologies. Today, my topic is going to be you're never too late to make a new start. Chat is open for conversation, although I would rather just make this a brief class than a live chat. At this point, I just want to encourage anybody who has a desire to get started in YouTube, even though they might be up in age like myself. I'm 67. It's never too late to learn something new, to make a new start, try something new, have some new experiences. I would suggest you better do it soon if you get to be my age or older, because, you know, we only promised 10, and then after that, it's all God's mercy and grace that keeps you here on this in this place, you know. So, with that being said, if you got a chance to do a live stream, or you got a chance to make a video, you got a chance to hook up with somebody that knows a little bit about YouTube, like me, then it would behoove you to try to do that. Because I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1, it keeps your brain stimulus active. Everybody knows when you activate your brain stimulus, that is by giving it challenges, then you offset Parkinson's, I would think. No, maybe not Parkinson's, but all the dementia type of stuff, like stuff that where people start forgetting things, like what I just did, you know, memory loss, and it just keeps you sharp, you know. Iron sharp as iron, you know, like my friend says. Keeps you sharp. You got to stay sharp on your game. Because if you don't, then your brain cells start to rust out, and before you know it, you're all comatose. You know, your mind don't think quickly as it used to. You can't resolve your problems like you used to. And YouTube will offset that, because it'll give you a load of things that you can focus on outside of, you know, increasing your creativity and helping you, you know, with your inner visions, like what Stevie Wonder used to say, the inner visions in your mind. You know, like the Bible says, without vision, the people perish. You know, so you got to have something going on inside you that says, I can change my reality here. There's something more that I could bring to the table to make my life and the lives of others better. And maybe I could even make the world a better place. Who knows? Who knows where your YouTube channel will go, you know? And it just all depends on what you put into it, because whatever you put into it, that's what you're going to get out. And today, aside from, you know, making sure that I encourage senior citizens like myself to get going, Get your ass off the porch. Because if you want to run with the big dogs, you got to come off the porch and get involved and get into something. To help motivate you, help stimulate you. Get outside, get some fresh air, meet people. You know, um, to get into YouTube though, you got to learn the techniques. You got to learn all the ins and outs, the tricks of the trade, as they say, and in order to surpass those hurdles that they put in front of us, which I think are too high. The subscriber hurdle is have to have at least 1,000 subscribers, and watch hour, live hour watch hour hurdle, which is 3,000 and 4,000. Now, yesterday we focused on the subscriber end of it. Today we're going to focus on the live stream. There are a few things you need to know about live stream. First off, when you have people come to your live stream, there's a way you have to handle them. There's a way you have to talk to them. Uh, there's some things, necessary things you'll need to have in order to do a live stream. Um, I'm going to give you those things. Uh, the goal is to make people feel at home. And if you go and visit a live stream, your goal is to be a good guest. Be interesting if you possibly can, if you have it in you. You know, be hospitable if you're welcoming guests. And by all means, be friendly. And number one, mind your manners. It's just like going to visit somebody. When you walk to the door, you knock on the door. Who is it? Oh, it's me, W.C. Which way do you think I'll come in? Say, you guys got any coffee in here? I was just in the neighborhood and thought I'd drop by. Um, what can you do for me? And who is that guy? Who is this guy? Uh, I need you to focus in on me. I got some things I need to do. Or should I walk in and say, hello, chat. How is my host such and such? Oh, it's so good to be here. And speak to all your friends, and, which one would you do? A or B? I would prefer the latter if you came to my chat, because anybody who's hospitable and friendly to myself and to my friends, they'll be more than welcome in my chat. And when you enter the chat, you have to know that there's always going to be certain subjects and guidelines and things you need to follow. You'll have to reference the YouTube guidelines for chat behavior and the type of content that you can bring in there when you become a part of it. That's usually in the beginning of your opening chat. That's the first button you have to allow to get in the chat. Say, I will obey these rules, and think, then you can make a comment or what have you. Sometimes there are requirements for you even to make a comment, like there are on your videos. Some people can't comment on my videos unless they're subscribers, or depending on the particular video that I'm doing, and my live stream as well. Even if they're not subscribers, sometimes I'll let them comment, but I'll let them comment, but they have to behave themselves. And usually if I have a moderator, I tell my moderators, you guys have control. If you have to put somebody on timeout, use your discretion. Don't be abusive. Don't let it be over 15 minutes. And if somebody needs to be kicked out of here, you have to go to the head moderator and let them know. And then they'll go to the host and get his approval. And then once they get his approval, the guy's out of there, like swimwear. That's the premise of live stream. Now, why should you do live stream? I'll give you two reasons. One is it's part of the requirements to get the live watch hours. I mean, you could do all your content, with a silent screen. Like a lot of people I see, they use fish tanks and fireplaces and nature scenes and stuff like that, and nobody's there. You can use a chat bot to greet your people, and nobody's there. So you can do it that way. All right. I think it's rather impersonal, and you don't really get to know people, but then you always have the opportunity to get to know them later. But and then there's another option. There's meeting people, getting to know people, letting them know you. Like I said before in my past classes, beginning to develop the fellowship. And then after a while, you have a following and you can follow other people. That's the second reason. And I prefer the latter because, like I said, I'm a people person anyway. And what's the use of being in YouTube unless you meet people? What's the use of being in YouTube unless you're going to make a difference in somebody's life? So live streaming is depending on, what you want out of it, you know. But it's necessary for you to have those watch hours. So if you don't want to be present, you can do the fireplace. You can do the nature scene. If you don't mind meeting people and getting to know your fellow YouTubers, go the second round. I would go the second round. I always believe in the second round. But once in a while, when I'm busy or if I'm traveling, I'll put up a fireplace or something like that. And if you do it right, you can get a lot of views and you can develop a lot of time. And I know a lot of people have monetized themselves with that. I know this one young lady, she used a fish tank, you know. Um, Sorry about the noise, truck. Like I said, you're always going to have some challenges. Um, but aside from that, there are things that go on in your live stream. Like, I'm sure you've seen the little buttons that you press that make the little hearts pop up and the little dollar bills and the smiles and all that. I'm sure you've seen that. Those are called reactionary points. Well, what are they for, WC? I'll tell you. The reactionary points are so that if you don't get a lot of people in your chat, when someone is there and they hit that reactionary point, then that substitutes for conversation. It gives the algorithm the impression that something is going on in your live stream. And unless you have some type of activity, your live stream is considered to be like dead, you know. Which brings me to point number 2. Even if you don't get anybody, or if there's a time where you don't think your live streaming is hitting home, just watch how many views you get after you release it. That's going to determine whether your live stream was interesting, fulfilling, informative, and useful to YouTube, depending. And then depending on what time you do it too. If your clientele is like in the Philippines, and you're in the United States, you have to determine, what is the time dichotomy between the two of them, and how does that marry up with when most of your people come online? And you can find all that in your analytics. And maybe that'll be our next class. We'll talk about the analytics that goes along with keeping track of what you have going on in your YouTube channel. That's about it for now. And I'm going to leave you with this thought. If you take care of yourself, you can take care of each other. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please don't forget to like, hit that notification bell, and subscribe and share. And any of my content, if you see like a video you like or something that you believe in, please feel free to use any of my content. You may collaborate with me. You may do your sidebars. You're welcome to use my content for green screens, because all of that will bring you subscribers and it will bring attention to both our channels. So be my guest. I'm glad to be of service. This is your boy W.C. signing out.